Beneath the soft glow of the moon, the dense forest of Silver Hollow stretched far and wide, shrouded in an eerie, tranquil silence. The forest had long been a mysterious place, where ancient trees whispered secrets, and creatures lived by rules older than time itself. Among them was a lone wolf named Kale, his grey fur tinged with silver under the moonlight. Kyle was a wanderer, cast out from his pack for refusing to follow the cruel ways of his alpha. He roamed the forest alone, a shadow in the night, carrying the burden of solitude. One fateful night, Kale's sharp ears caught a faint, desperate growl. Following the sound, he came upon a cougar, a golden coat streaked with blood, lying beneath the twisted roots of an old oak tree. Her name was Celine. She had been ambushed by a rival predator, barely escaping with her life. Her piercing amber eyes glared at Kale, a warning not to come closer. But Kale saw the pain in her eyes, a reflection of his own loneliness. "I won't hurt you," he said, his voice low and steady. "You'll need help." Celine, though wary, was too weak to resist. Kyle brought her water from a nearby stream and hunted for her, returning with a hare that he placed gently at her side. For the first time in years, Celine felt safe. Over the coming days, Kale nursed her back to health. Though their species were natural enemies, a bond began to form between them, born out of shared pain and mutual respect. Kyle told Celine of his betrayal, of how his own pack had turned against him. Celine, in turn, shared her story of being driven from her territory by a larger cougar that sought to claim her hunting grounds. Their shared stories of loss and exile brought them closer, and soon the two began to hunt and roam the forest together. Weeks turned into months, and their bond deepened. Together, they were a formidable team. Kyle's strength and strategic mind perfectly complemented Celine's agility and stealth. They became the silent protectors of Silver Hollow, ensuring peace among its inhabitants and keeping the balance of the forest intact. Under the light of a full moon, their love culminated in a vow to protect each other and the forest they now called home. Months later, Celine gave birth to a single cub. He was unlike anything Silver Hollow had ever seen. They named him Lunaris, after the moon that had always guided them. Lunaris was a perfect blend of his parents. His powerful frame resembled Kale's, but his sleek golden coat was adorned with faint silver stripes, a gift from Celine. His piercing eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, as though the moon itself had blessed him. From a young age, Lunaris showed exceptional promise. He was swift, strong, and wise beyond his years. Kale taught him the ways of leadership and how to strategize in the face of danger. Celine honed his skills in stealth and precision, teaching him to move like a shadow in the night. Together, they raised him to respect the forest and its creatures, to protect rather than dominate. As Lunaris grew, so did his reputation. He became a symbol of hope for the forest, defending the weak and ensuring peace. But his family's peaceful life was threatened when an ancient pack of dire wolves, led by the ruthless alpha Durak, returned to Silver Hollow. The dire wolves had once ruled the forest with fear, and now they sought to reclaim it. Durak, cunning and cruel, saw Lunaris as a threat to his dominance. Durak and his pack terrorized the forest, attacking weaker animals and destroying the harmony Kale, Selene, and Lunaris had worked so hard to maintain. Determined to protect his home, Lunaris confronted Durak and his pack alone, his powerful roar echoing through the forest. "This is your only warning," he growled, his silver-striped fur glowing in the moonlight. "Leave this forest and never return." Durak laughed, a low, menacing sound. "You think you can stop us, cub? You are nothing but a shadow of your parents." The battle that followed was fierce. Lunaris fought valiantly, his claws slashing through the air and his powerful jaws snapping at his enemies. But the dire wolves were many, and they fought with brutal coordination. Lunaris held his ground, his strength and training allowing him to take down several of the wolves. But as the fight wore on, the pack began to overwhelm him. Pinned to the ground by two dire wolves, Lunaris refused to submit. He roared, summoning every ounce of his strength. Just as Darek moved in for the killing blow, a thunderous roar split the air. Kyle and Selene appeared, their powerful frames cutting through the shadows like avenging spirits. Together, the family fought as one, and their bond gave them unmatched strength. Kyle's strength, Selena's agility, and Lunaris' unique abilities turned the tide of the battle. The dire wolves, realizing they were outmatched, began to retreat. Darek, wounded and humiliated, fled into the night, his pack following close behind. As the first rays of dawn broke through the trees, Kale, Selene, and Lunaris stood together, their fur matted with blood but their spirits unbroken. The creatures of the forest emerged from their hiding places, bowing in respect. Silver Hollow was safe once more. Kale, now older and wiser, stepped aside, allowing Lunaris to take his place as the protector of the forest. Under Lunaris' leadership, Silver Hollow thrived. The legend of the moonlit guardians, Kale, Selene, and Lunaris, was passed down through generations, a reminder of the power of love, unity, and the light of the moon that guided them.